The story starts with a scene in a small, quiet town in the mountains of Austria. It is early morning. The fog is thick. The air is cold. Birds are still silent. A young man named Elias sits alone on a wooden bench near a frozen lake. His hands are shaking, not from the cold, but from something deep inside, something he cannot control. His eyes are empty. His mind is full of fear, noise, and dark thoughts. He feels lost, like he's standing on the edge of something big and dangerous. He wants peace, but peace is not coming. Not yet. Elias was only 22, but his life already felt like a storm. He used to be happy when he was younger, full of dreams. He wanted to be a writer, a speaker, a traveler. But slowly, things changed. After losing his mother in a car accident when he was 16, something in him broke. He became silent. He began to fear the world. He started thinking too much. Small things became big. He felt angry for no reason. Sometimes he could not sleep for days. He thought his mind was his enemy. Every day was a fight. No one knew how deep the pain was inside him. Not even his father, who tried his best but never understood the war in Elias's head. One winter night, something strange happened. Elias was walking alone through the snowy woods behind his house. He heard a voice, a soft old voice. He looked around. No one was there. He thought he was going mad. But the voice came again. Your mind is not the enemy. It is only loud because it's afraid. Elias stood still. His heart beat fast. Who's there? He shouted. The woods stayed quiet. The wind stopped. He felt something cold pass beside him, like a whisper. That night, he had a dream of a woman with white hair and kind eyes, sitting inside a stone room with candles. She said, if you want to master your mind, you must go where the noise cannot follow. Then she disappeared. In the morning, Elias woke up shaking. He didn't know if it was real or just a dream, but something inside him said he must find that place. He packed his backpack. He left a short note for his father. Then he left the house and walked toward the mountains. He did not know where he was going. He only followed his feeling. His legs were tired, his heart full of fear, but something pulled him forward. Snow fell slowly, like little pieces of silence. He walked for hours. Then he saw it, an old monastery built between the mountains. It looked empty, broken, but something felt alive there. He knocked on the wooden door. A tall man with a long gray beard opened it. He did not smile. He just looked into Elias's eyes and said, "We've been waiting." The inside of the monastery was simple. Stone floors, wooden beds, books, and candles. The man told him his name was Father Merrick. He was once a soldier, but now he helped people heal their minds. This place is not for comfort, he said. It is for truth. And truth is sometimes painful. Elias stayed. Days turned into weeks. There was no phone, no talking, no outside noise, only silence, books, cold air, and deep questions. At first, Elias went mad inside. His thoughts screamed louder. He wanted to run. He wanted to cry. He could not stop thinking about everything, his pain, his past, his fears, his mistakes. But Father Merrick said, Don't run. Let the thoughts come. Let them pass. They are not you. One night, Elias sat by the fire, thinking about his mother. He missed her so much. He remembered her laugh, her soft hands, the way she sang. Tears ran down his face. Father Merrick walked in, sat beside him, and said, "Your pain is real, but it does not have to control you. You must learn to hold it gently." Elias asked, "How? How do I stop this war inside my head?" Merrick replied, "By not fighting. You win by watching, not by pushing. Learn to sit with the storm. It will pass." Strange things began to happen. Elias started to feel small moments of peace, just for a few seconds, then minutes. He learned to breathe slowly. He learned to listen to the sound of the wind. He learned that thoughts are like clouds, they come and go. He read books about the mind, about love, about silence. One day, he found an old journal hidden in the library. It was written by a woman named Lucia who lived there many years ago. Her words touched his soul. She wrote about how she lost her child but found peace in silence. She wrote about pain, about fear, and about love. Her words were soft but strong. Elias felt like she was speaking to him through time. As days passed, he began to feel something he had not felt in years: hope. He started writing again. Just small pages, but they came from his heart. He wrote about his pain, his fears, his journey. He felt alive. He felt strong. He even started helping other young people who came to the monastery. One girl named Sophia came from Italy. She was broken, afraid, lost, just like him, but he sat with her. He listened. He spoke with kindness. Slowly, she smiled again. Slowly, he felt love again. A quiet, deep love that needed no words. But the story doesn't end in peace. One night, a loud sound came from the hills. A group of thieves broke into the monastery. They were running from the police and wanted to hide. They had guns. They were angry, scared, dangerous. Everyone was afraid. Elias stood up. His hands shook. His mind screamed, but something inside him stayed still. He looked at the leader of the thieves, a young man with sad eyes. He said, "You don't have to do this. We have nothing to steal here. Only silence. Only truth." The man pointed a gun at Elias. Time stopped. Then he lowered the gun and dropped to the floor, crying. The police came later, took them away. No one was hurt, but something changed that night. Elias realized that the real danger is not outside, it is inside. And if you can face the storm in your mind, you can face anything, even guns, even fear, even death. He stayed in the monastery for 2 years. When he came back to his town, he was different. He walked slowly. He smiled softly. People asked him where he had been. He just said, "I went to find my mind." He started giving small talks at schools, at churches, in parks. He spoke about silence, about truth, about pain, about love. People listened. Some cried. Some healed. Elias later found out that Lucia, the woman who wrote the journal, was his great aunt. She had died in the same car crash as his mother. Her soul had guided him all along. He cried when he found out, but he smiled too, because he knew love never dies. It only changes form. Years passed. Elias became known in many towns across Austria and beyond. People started inviting him to speak at universities, hospitals, even prisons. He never dressed fancy. He never used big words. He just spoke with honesty, with pain, with love. Every time he stood in front of a crowd, he remembered that cold morning by the frozen lake, the moment he thought his life was over. But now he stood strong, calm, peaceful. He told them the truth. You can master your mind, but first, you must understand it. You must listen to the storm before you can quiet it. One day, he received a letter. No name, no return address, only a few words. Come to the lake again. There is something waiting. Elias felt strange. He had not been to that place in many years. That lake was where his pain had once screamed the loudest. But he followed the message. He returned to the bench where the story began. The fog was there again. The cold was sharp. He sat down. Hours passed. Nothing happened. Then he saw a figure walking toward him. It was a woman. Long white hair. Soft smile. The same woman from his dream years ago. She sat beside him and said nothing. Elias didn't speak either. Finally, she whispered, "You've done well. But there is still one thing left." Elias looked into her eyes. "What is it?" he asked. She replied, "Forgive yourself." He froze. He didn't understand. She said, "You have carried guilt for your mother's death, for your father's sadness, for your own mind. But guilt is a chain. You must break it." A tear fell from Elias's eye. He had helped so many people, but he never forgave himself. He always felt like he didn't deserve peace. He nodded slowly. "I forgive myself," he said, almost in a whisper. And at that moment, the fog lifted. The sun touched the lake. The woman was gone. From that day on, something opened inside Elias. His talks changed. His words became softer, more powerful. He started writing books. One book became very famous, "The Mind is a River." In it, he wrote about everything, about losing his mother, about the monastery, about Father Merrick, about Lucia, about Sophia, about the fear, the silence, the love. People all over Europe read his words. They felt seen. They felt less alone. Letters came from Paris, from Oslo, from Prague. People said, "Thank you. Because of you, I didn't give up." One winter, he returned to the monastery. It looked the same, cold, quiet, strong. But Father Merrick was not there. A new monk said Merrick had passed away peacefully, smiling, sitting by the fire. He had left a note for Elias. It said, "The student becomes the teacher. Now go make silence louder." Elias smiled. He walked into the library, touched the old books, found Lucia's journal again. He left a new journal beside it, his own. He hoped one day another lost soul would find it and feel the same hope. Then he did something strange. He went to the woods behind the monastery, to the place where he once heard the voice. He sat down, closed his eyes. This time, there was no fear, just peace. He breathed slowly. The wind moved around him, soft and kind. He whispered, "I'm not afraid of my mind anymore." And the trees stood still as if they were listening. Time passed again. Elias married Sophia. They opened a quiet retreat center by the hills. People came from all over the world to learn how to breathe, how to sit, how to listen to their thoughts without fear. Elias never promised quick fixes. He never said the pain would vanish. He said, pain is part of being alive, but suffering is optional. If you learn to sit with your pain, it will not control you. That is how you master your mind. And still, every morning, he sat in silence. Before the sun, before the world woke up, with a cup of tea, with a notebook, with himself. No phone, no noise, just the quiet river of his thoughts. Sometimes they were loud, sometimes they were kind, but he was no longer afraid. He had walked through the fire, and now he was light. This story is not just about Elias. It is about all of us. We all have storms inside. We all get lost. We all feel broken. But there is always a way back. The door is silence. The key is love. And the path is inside your mind. You can master your mind, not by fighting it, but by becoming friends with it, by sitting with it, by listening to its fears, its dreams, its tears. And when you do, you will see your mind is not the enemy. It is the teacher, the guide, the mirror. And maybe one quiet morning by a lake or in a room or deep inside yourself, you too will whisper, "I forgive myself." And the light will come, just like it did for Elias.